that I focus on the demand side of the wildlife trade, looking at the motivations of why people use things such as rhino horn and tiger paw, etc., etc. And one of the things I've been really shocked about since starting this work is to understand that that wildlife and timber crime is the 4th largest transnational crime in the world. It's worth about $20 billion per annum, and that's just the illegal trade. And researching this space is how easy it is to manufacture and stimulate the demand for wildlife products. And people are spending a lot of time and resources manufacturing and stimulating that demand, be they for currently legal products or for illegal products. Behaviours become accepted and entrenched, not just because they are rewarded or punished, but primarily because they're tolerated. So we as individuals need to work out what we're willing to tolerate and what we're not willing to tolerate anymore. Can we take action and contact our MPs to say we don't want to tolerate wildlife laws that allow our auction rooms to sell ivory and rhino horn in Melbourne and Sydney. If we care about wildlife and the environment, we have to realise there's some things that have been tolerated for many years that can't be tolerated anymore. So again, my question to you guys is, what will you stop tolerating as individuals? What will you challenge your friends and your family not to tolerate anymore?
Thanks everyone for being here today, and can I just say congratulations, because it's people like yourselves who make the difference. You could be easily at home watching TV, or probably not at the beach today, but you could be going somewhere nice, but you're here in beautiful Melbourne CBD, and thank you very much for that. And can I say Greg Hunt, our Environmental Minister, actually has banned importation of rhino parts into Australia. Obviously the next stage is trying to stop them being sold at auction houses, so that's something I'm just talking to the Minister about. As you heard, I first met Donalea. She's a constituent in the Dandenong Ranges. She basically stalked me during an election campaign, and I said, Donalea, just if I get elected, I'll have a look at this. To be honest, I had never heard of canned hunting. Probably not one member of Parliament had heard of canned hunting. I couldn't believe it when Donalea was telling me that lions were being bred over in South Africa for one purpose, and that was to be killed. As an ex-police officer, I said, you need to show me the evidence. Then she started showing me videos in my office, and as a good detective, I could justify every reason until she showed me a video of a lion under a tree with a bait, and the lion was just having a meal there, and then you had the hunters in the back of a four-wheel drive. You could hear the conversations, and they just repetitively shot the lion. So I took this to Greg Hunt, our Environment Minister, and he said, if you can prove to me this is actually occurring and Australia is playing a role, I'll ban it. So to find out, we have a fantastic parliamentary library who were able to determine over a 4-year period that over 150 lion parts had come into Australia. At least 13 of those were lion trophies, meaning their head, and it was just a macabre kind of smorgasbord of dead wildlife imported in the country. Not talking about lions. It was amazing how many animals I actually witnessed on this list, and that'll be my next stage, to do something about that into the future. Try to ban the importation of lions. I thought it would have been quite straightforward. Greg Hunt, the Minister, like he said to me, he said he was absolutely blindsided knowing there was actually so many people who actually support shooting lions and bring them into Australia. It's as Laurie would know for year after year, going up against the hunters, and I can say I had the most fieriest meeting in the Minister's office with some of my national colleagues. They were trying to stop this, stop the ban. Greg Hunt put his job on the line, the Minister. If you ever come across Greg Hunt, thank him for doing that, because it was truly a wonderful thing he did. So congratulations for being here today, and well done for everything you're doing. Thank you, Donalea, too.
So it's staggering to me that we have to work so hard at protecting wildlife when it's challenged every day by human encroachment, trafficking, habitat destruction, pollution, disease, poaching, and yet we allow a very tiny minority to engage in killing for fun. We are not protesters, we are protectors. We speak out against the cruel and barbaric and demand a kind and compassionate world. The industry of captive breeding and canned hunting began with farmers who realised there was a lot more money to be made by commoditising wildlife. Intensive farming of predators, the creation of lies and deceit. But they're not only making money from the hunting, they're renting these cubs out to tourist destinations. How many people here have been duped by the industry and have been participated? Yeah, there's at least half a dozen of you. It costs about $1,000 a week for a volunteer at these places. The cute cub you are hand raising can never be returned to the wild. It's human imprinted. It's lost its fear of humans. It's also genetically impaired and can never be returned to the wild. This is the conservation con, and this money is going to unscrupulous operators and it's funneled away from true conservation efforts. It's about a quick, efficient, cost-effective and guaranteed kill, like a drive-through, fly in, fly out. Commoditising our wildlife will be our undoing. So 8,000 lions and other big cats in around 200 farms in South Africa alone. Australia, thanks to Jason Wood and Greg Hunt, have listed or have applied to CITES to list lions to Appendix 1. I'd like to thank Tracy very much for coming out today. Thank you. Okay. So Jason Wood, a very special thank you, not only from me, but from Ian Mickler, from Pippa Hankinson and the Blood Lions crew. And special thanks to Greg Hunt for being courageous and visionary. But we've still got lots more to do. So I finish with this. I want to ask all of you, what breaks your heart? What makes you just absolutely despair? And I ask you to take that one thing and do something about it. Thank you very much.